Shalom, welcome to Kabbalah Academy. Time for a new video. I have two words, opinion, which would be a Vav for the O, a Fe for the P, a Yud for the I, a Nun for the N, other Yud for an I, a Vav for the O, and a Nun for the N. Opinion, which comes from thought, right? Thought. And thought is tough for the T, Hey for the H, two Vavs, one for the O, one for the U, Gimel for the G, H for the other Hey, and Hey for the other H, and a Tav for the T. Okay, you'll see that it's all connected, and we have the Hebrew words also, because thought is machshava. Now, interesting, we'll start with opinion. So the first two letters of opinion already give us an 86, which is the value of Elohim, okay, the mother. Because in the beginning, Israel arose in thought, okay, to start with. Yud would be spirit, Nun would be soul. So Nefesh, Ruach. Okay, Ruach, spirit, Nefesh, soul. So, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Yesod, and Malchut together called Zerampin, but this is the Nukva. The last three letters, so we'd have Elohim, we have spirit, soul, and we have Yud Vav Nun, which value 66. Now, 66 is telling, especially in this context, because 66 is the ordinal value of machshavot. The word thought is machshava, but machshavot is thoughts, plural. And it is written in Bereshit 6, verse 5, V'kol yetzer machshavot levo rak kol chayim. So it means all the thoughts, it says here forms, which are the midos. These are the forms. All the forms, the thoughts of the forms, right? The thoughts of the forms of the heart, lev, are evil, ra, kol hayom, all of the days. It translates as always, all of the days, and days, these are also your days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and then the 8th day. Backup would then be the mother. 7 days under the mother. Okay? The reason that I did it like this to save a little time this time, there was a lot of notes already. Sometimes I work here and then I have it prepared already, so it saves us time writing out. So sometimes we'll go just this way. So all the thoughts of a man's heart, of the forms, right? The days, all the thoughts that come from this system, this closed system, instead of drawing down Kedusha, they are evil, okay? Only evil comes from it. And this is why the ordinal value is also Lilith. But be careful, because in the high concept, Lilith is a very holy entity name, right? So we shouldn't be, we'll leave that for other classes, but for here now, it is also Yirah H'ari teaches on school.com/Yirah, Y-I-R-A-H. Join school for true, authentic Kabbalah in various levels. Yirah expounds upon the fact that the Nukva of Atzilut, that it is connected to Lilith, and Israel arose in thought. In the beginning connects to Lilith. So when we read Bereshit, it speaks also about these matters. So, and it is really clearly, as we go through it, you'll see the mother's sin, because it was in her thought. So machshava is really the Hebrew word therefore. And if we count machshava, we have 355. It's 40 plus 8 plus 300 plus 2 plus 5 is 355, which is equal to paro. And paro, from the das, from the neck downwards, is found there as well. Elohim El HaNachash is the same value as Lilith in the full Gematria. There's many connections there. You can read about it in Likkutei Yirah 9 or the Book of Dragons. We have there in the back, the second half, there's all the tikkunim there that give a lot of these keys. But we're not going to do that here. That's not the time and the place. Just going through it with you more lightly. Okay, so what did I do? The thought in the squaring, and I calculated it with a calculator various times, gives 3033. Now you can scrap the zero, right? Kabbalah, Gematria, you have a 333. We have 3 threes, which is the value of HaChoshech, the darkness. So, Paro, Lilith. Now, what else did I find? Oh, yes. Okay, so let's go to the following, because the squaring of opinion, we did the squaring of thought, so we did a squaring of opinion also, gave me an ordinal value of 306. 306 is Ha'ash, the fire. And He is 5, and Ash is fires. This would hint at the 5 Geverot, which is very much connected. Again, you can read all about it in Likkutei Yirah and in the Book of Dragons, the Mother's Sin. You will find it there, or watch Yirah's videos on the secrets and the Soid on Lilith and Satan. You'll find it there also in great length and depth explained. Very profound teachings. If you are at some level and you have prerequisites and you like esoteric teachings, this is really the place. It is authentic Kabbalah. There's no place like it in the Western world in English. You will not find it. So, Likkutei Yirah 9, school.com/Yirah. What else did we have? So now, the value here of, in the full Gematria is interesting. It's an 864, which is divisible by many numbers. It's a very odd number. You can divide it by 9, by 8, by 6, by various numbers. You get interesting Gematria like 432 and 288. Not going into it. It's not, at this moment, not what we're doing, but it is the value of 2 verses. First of all, it's the verse in Bereshis 25:14. Here we go. Yudalet. So it gives here the names. These are the descendants of Ishmael, it says here. And in 14, it names Mishma, Duma, and Massa. Ve Mishma, Ve Duma, Ve Misha. Now, again, this is not the place. If you know, you know, Duma. But it means silence, okay? And Shema means to listen. So, one who has not these teachings and would engage in the Torah thinking these are physical, literal stories would be greatly deceived and missing completely the point. So this is really holding a message of to listen, and Shema is a world of Beria, has to do with the mother. This is silence, right? Because to listen, one needs to be silent. And here we find an Aleph Memshin, and there's 3 Vavs in there. 3 Vavs, 3 times 6 is 18, which is Chai. So I see instructions here, because you will be silenced. If you don't listen and silence yourself, you will be silenced. Duma. So I'm saying for now. Okay, so, but the next phrase was interesting also. because 864, it is also Eoif, right? Job 14, verse 4. And it says, Mi yitan tahor metumal lo echad. Who can make a pure thing, a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Lo echad means no one, but it could be read different. Okay. Other class also. Who can make a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Meaning to say, there's no way of cleaning these thoughts, but there is a way of not giving them authority and knowing what it is. There is a way to that, yes. But you cannot start interacting and keeping the system and thinking that you can work it out. That's what it means, right? So the value thereof points at these incredible verses. Another value that I found was the ordinal value of this whole phrase, namely, וכל יצר מחשבת לבו רק רע כל היום. So the thoughts of a man's heart are evil continually, is 301, which again is ash, fire. So that's amazing. Fire, because the fire is really the fire offering on the 8th day, 7 days under the mother, which are the forms. So this is your spirit form, desire form, holy form, soul form, emotion form, mental form, and physical form. These forms you offer on the altar. On the 8th day, a fire offering to Hashem. Okay? So Israel arose in thought, and that's where it started. So we're speaking about very high matters which are reflected in our physical reality, which is the lowest reality. You see a lower representation thereof, and that is why the flaw of the mother who conceived in sin, this same flaw is found within our system of thinking. That's why Abba said, why did you create him? I told you he was going to sin. I want to read, to top it off, we'll read a little bit of Likkutei in a bit. The last thing I found here, let me see, Shin Gevurot. Hey, we already went through that. Base, Machshava. Okay, yes, so Machshava can also be read as a Hey, which is 5. Shin, Gevurot, we have it here. And then we have Moach, which is the mind, right? And then base is the house, which is Bina. So the mind of Bina, and the 5 Gevurot, which is Din, judgment. Okay, so that was enough about the whiteboard. We'll go to Likkutei Yirah now. So Likkutei Yirah 9 by Yirah H'ari, available on bookbaby.com and amazon.com. If you can't afford a physical copy, we will provide you with a free PDF. Rela, Reis Lamed Aleph, Yesh Rela, the heart spark, arose in thought, okay? It says here, and it quotes Sefer Yetzirah. According to the early Kabbalists, the 231 gates are alluded to in the name Yisrael in Hebrew. Yisrael is spelled Yud Shin Reish Aleph Lamed. These letters can also spell out Yesh Rela. There is 231, which literally means substance, 231. The Midrash states that at the beginning of creation, and the beginning is identified as Lilith by Yirah H'ari in one of the more esoteric videos on Lilith and Satan on school.com/Yirah, Yirah. So at the beginning of creation, Israel rose in thought, and thought is this word machshava that we just looked at. So the name Yisrael alludes to the fact that creation took place through these 231 gates. According to Kabbalists, these 231 gates are what remained in the vacated space that preceded creation, the sum total of potential. That's also why Yirah, in a certain video, I don't recall exactly which video it was, we had a teaching about Moach, and the Moach is the head, right, the brain, versus the Machshava, which was thought, and the thought was the lower, was really Soif Yudhei. It was Soif Yudhei, which is Sophia, which is the Greek word for wisdom, but it is not the authentic wisdom, it's the lower wisdom. And it comes from this system, okay? It comes from this closed system. Soif Yudhei, the end of Yudhei, as the Moach who sits here. Well, disconnected. So that's a great difference there, okay? Thoughts versus brain, okay? So draw down Kedusha from above, not accrediting to the Toivera. It's there, and you'll notice it, but when the focus is to the objective reality, one can learn to abstain from reacting to the input of the serpent voice. And through the letters, the Aleph Tav, we can better ourselves and connect and get to know the endless, because Vayadas et Hashem et Haor Kitov, he guarded himself in letters, glorify his name and glorify holiness, Kedusha. Okay, so many blessings till the next video.